What's going on, guys? This is Juan with Greenergroundslawnservice, and in today's video we're going to be trimming these Clusia. I want to talk about safety when you're treating with Clusia, and first and foremost, I am missing one thing for my safety gear today, which is covering my neck thoroughly. When you cut through Clusia, it's sap, and what it does when it gets on the skin, it irritates my skin. It's irritated my face, it's irritated my neck, my hands, my arms, which is why you see me fully geared out, completely covered, but my neck is a little exposed, and I have my little safety glasses here. That way I can be protected at all times. Now, one thing about Clusia that I didn't know the first time that I went to cut it is that it has to be cut with a machete. I didn't do the proper research, and so when I went and showed up with an electric pruner or trimmer, whatever you want to call it, the homeowner kind of asked me, like, aren't you supposed to cut this with a machete? And I said, not if you're cutting it properly. I can get it done with an electric trimmer. And I was just talking out of my ass, unfortunately. But I did go back and fix it the second time around that I went and cut them, and they were happy with it. Luckily, it didn't cause a lot of damage to the Clusia. But that's something to know. You gotta use a machete. Make sure that the blade is sharpened. That way, you can easily just give it a swing, and it's not going to be hitting or damaging the plant. You're going to be doing clean cuts. So guys, as you can see in this video, I'm about to start trimming this Clusia hedge. And one of the most important things for you to have, besides a sharpened machete, is to get a tarp. Being in and out of the property in the most timely, efficient way as possible is going to maximize your time and your money. So if you have a tarp that you can just be hauling around as you're going down the hedge clipping, you're going to be picking up 99%. The rest can just be picked up with a rake, and you'll be in and out in no time. Okay, so I want you guys to see the after result. And I left the top just wild because that's what the customer wants. They want the top to keep growing and leave it untouched. Look at that line. That's looking so good and crisp. I wish I would have taken a before video, but it's looking really nice and even. Lovely. Here's all the clippings. I want you guys to see all of this Clusia that I've cut from this hedge. I'm going to show you the best and fastest way for DIYers and even professionals on the field that are just starting out. You don't have a ton of tools. The quickest way to pick this up that's not going to be a time waster. So here we go. So one of the very important things to doing any job is to be able to clean up and pick up after yourself fast. Why? Because the faster you finish the job and clean up, the faster you get out of here and you go on to the next job. Get yourself a few tarps, different sizes. Something that I recommend if you have a Ross nearby you. I mean, honestly, I buy them all at Ross, but you can find them at Walmart, Home Depot, obviously. And as you're going in the project, as you saw in the time lapse, you can just drag it along and you're picking up 95% of everything you're clipping. Now, I turned it front and center to the camera so that you can see the effectiveness of picking this up. All I have is a tarp, one 44-gallon bag, and a $10 rake from Home Depot. So let's go. So step number one, you're gonna open up your bag. And the way you're gonna do this, with your feet and your boots, whatever you're wearing, you're gonna anchor the bag to your feet, as such. What does that do? It creates a boundary underneath so that if all you have is a rake and your hands, whatever you've piled up onto that tarp, you can just be digging like a little dog and getting it all in there without it going underneath the bag. Let me demonstrate. Here we go. I've anchored it at my feet. Try to get as wide of a stance as you can. I may need a second bag because it is a lot of clippings, but we'll see how much we can get in here. Again, I'm anchoring, going as wide as I possibly can. And let me show you something. I can just grab this rake. This is the weakest rake known to man, but regular clippings works a lot better. Clusia is just a little thick and heavy. Absolutely have to pick up every last bit of clipping because That is just a little irrational, but here we are, all picked up. That bag's probably a good 45 or 50 pounds of Clusia clippings. And that's all it takes, folks. That's all it takes. Trial and error, you'll figure it out. Like, subscribe, comment for more. I'm going to be posting tips this whole year of everything I learned in the past year of business. If you guys have any topics that you want me to cover, I'm happy to do so. This has been Juan. Take it easy. Keep grinding out there.